Hey BBs, it's Plastic, and today back there for another video. Today we're back and we're definitely ghoul chatting it up about the topic of if people know that I collect dolls and how I kind of deal with that, I guess. I just wanted to kind of chat with y'all because it's definitely a topic that's super important around the holidays as we are meeting friends and family, and maybe we're catching up, maybe we're new collectors, and I feel like doll YouTubers and drag queens and all that fun stuff helped me personally when I was beginning collecting and helping because when I feel like when you're able to tell people that you collect and you're able to, it helps you. Personally, when I started collecting, the first 6 months of that collection and that collecting was super hard for me. And it was only hard for me not because of telling other people, more of the fact that I was so uncomfortable with it on my own, and I was so uncomfortable with the idea of me collecting dolls. And I don't know why, because my entire life, ever since I stopped being into Monster High dolls, I always kept my Monster High dolls and my Monster High merch. Yes, things got lost here and there, but a little backstory is I guess I stopped collecting Monster High dolls in 2015, right around when the reboot was announced on Christmas Day of that year. Um, and I put all my dolls in storage. I was a middle schooler now, so I was like, I can't collect these dolls and be all cool in middle school. Like, duh, like dolls are for losers. But I kept them. I didn't sell them. I tried to sell them. I didn't sell them. I didn't do anything with them. They were literally just in the basement for 5 years. And again, 2020 rolled around, and I collect dolls now. And again, getting back into that was hard for me just because I did not feel comfortable with the idea of telling people. I did not feel comfortable with the idea that I was doing it my own. But the reason I think I felt so scared about this was because not a lot of people I know do it in real life. It's very different than like anything else I do. Like doll collecting is really an online thing, and it's just not as respected as it I guess should be. People don't view collecting dolls as seriously as they do other things because if we really get into it, everything everything in my room, I mean obviously everything in my room is dolls, but everything you could find at Target, there's probably a collector for it. There's purse collectors and fashion collectors. There's car collectors, you know, like the sports cars. There's Pokemon collectors. There's Legos collectors. There's perfume collectors. There's makeup collectors. There's probably nail polish collectors. There's I don't know. Like, there's definitely a collector for everything. And when I put that into perspective, it helped me so much. One thing that really helped me when I was getting into dolls, specifically Monster High, was calling myself the Trixie Mattel of the doll, I guess, of my high school, which is really funny looking back on it. Like, I'm not Trixie Mattel of anything, but because she collected Barbies, I felt more comfortable with my collection because seeing people on the internet like this, it helped me a lot because when I saw people who were confident with themselves, it helped me feel confident simultaneously, which was really weird, kind of like us talking back about that. But it was really cool to be able to find a community online that obviously felt like me and being able to relate to them and feel confident and feel like I belong here, and that's really what is important. I feel like having a doll collection, because again, collecting a doll is niche. Collecting dolls is niche, at least in my opinion. I mean, it doesn't always feel that way, I guess, especially during quarantine times when I'd open my Instagram and I'd see loads of doll content of doll talks and doll YouTube videos. You step back into the real world and it's like, what? It feels like weird. One thing that also helped me was when I just started wearing Monster High merch, Bratz merch. You name it, I have Monster High necklaces, Bratz necklaces, socks, sweatshirts, hoodies, t-shirts. Like, I love wearing my doll collection. I love wearing my merch. I feel like that helps me a lot, and I don't feel as embarrassed when I wear it. I feel like it's like my Monster High shirts are my favorite pieces in my whole closet and my whole wardrobe, and even my Monster High doll collection. I kind of view them as some of my favorite pieces. I think they're really fun, but wearing those definitely help me, and they make me feel more confident with it. Because right now, like dolls are kind of more mainstream with the Bratz and the Monster High kind of resurgence, and even new brands like LOL OMG and Rainbow High. We've definitely been seeing a new wave of doll collectors. I was kind of included in that wave as well. Again, 2022 or 2020, when everything kind of exploded, there was definitely that wave of kind of mainstreamness of it, which it still isn't fully mainstream, but it's definitely more accepted than it was a couple of years ago, which is really, really cool. And I think that it definitely is a positive on making me feel more comfortable telling people. But there are even still times now where I don't feel like always the most confident talking to people about my collection because I do, again, personal life, tell people that I collect dolls. I posted about it on my Instagram. It's my doll account. My doll Instagram is linked in my personal Instagram's account. And with that, obviously, that's like a great step for me. But in real life, sometimes even my closer friends will still make jokes about it, which aren't always rooted the best way. They'll think it's a waste of money, they'll think it's a waste of time, and they think it's just overall weird, which is really disheartening. I had this one friend when I, again, first started collecting dolls who I was very insecure about my collecting. It was very clear whenever I talked about it, but they would make it worse. When I wasn't comfortable about my hobby, they were not comfortable about my hobby, which definitely shows in the way that you talk to yourself or and talk about yourself and you talk about your interests. Because when people see an insecurity, they will cling onto that insecurity and kind of feed off that, and make their jokes, and they'll have their fun, and that really affected that friendship. And it was hurtful a lot, again, because I was starting and I viewed it as weird, and I internalized that in a really bad way, and it wasn't great. And but I've gotten to a place now where being able to fully feel comfortable with myself is helping my friendships, and it's helping my personal life a lot. I've recently been able to I talk to my family about this all the time. Like, my mom does not stop hearing about my doll rambles. And so I guess, like, in terms of like that, like, I talk to my family like openly about my dolls, and I feel comfortable with it. But sometimes even going into school and, like, that work in that kind of environment, like the real world, it's still not always the best, because you don't feel like there's ever a place where people understand it, which is really unfortunate, because the dolls themselves are literally just plastic people, but people will always view it as hoarderous or weird, or, just like, why do you have that many in your house? It's just like, all those eyes, don't they scare you? Like, no, they're literally plastic. Like, it's literally paint. Like, this is not anything real. Um, so that's interesting. But it's also really funny when people who are like that, who will tear you down for collecting dolls, who you don't need to be doing all that collecting. You don't need to be collecting those. You don't need to spend and waste your money. Like, don't buy that doll, whatever. They will also be the first ones to have a Bratz aesthetic, to be Monster High for Halloween. Like, it's a little bit hypocritical, which I think is a very interesting topic, especially when it turns out to people stealing doll art. People don't respect us at all. Like, it's actually insane how little respect the doll community itself has, which is also plays a very big part in why I don't always feel comfortable with it. Um, but then at the same time, I'm also like, when people who say these things about me, who make these ideas about me, who are just nasty about it in general and don't fully support it like I needed to be supported, and for me, it's a free block list. It's a free list of people who I don't need to be friends with. It's a free list of people who don't value my time and value me, then I don't need to value you, and then we can spread our ways and be done with it. Because at one point in time, we have to kind of get over this fear and everything, and which I've been trying to do. And not everyone is worth your time. Not everyone is worth your values. Because if someone in your life, unless it's like, you have to like you have to like worry about them to depend on your livelihood, like, food, water, boss, whatever that team may be. Unless it's that, if it's just a friend or something, cut them off if they don't respect you in your hobby. Cut them off if they're going to be nasty towards you and they're going to break your dolls or pretend, whatever those comments are. They're not worth your time. They're not worth my time. They're not worth the stress. They're not worth the sleepless nights. They're not worth the tears, whatever that may be. It's not worth it, because at the end of the day, everything that you do and everything that you collect is for you. Not for her, not for him, not for them, not for that person. It's for you. And that was really what helped me get into it. But when you do find those people who embrace you and embrace your collection, you will have the most fun around them, because whether it's talking about dolls or talking about other things, you'll feel safer around them. Especially after that whole incident with my old friends, where I was not feeling safe when I would get comments made about me. Even talking to them about like random stuff just wasn't as enjoyable, because I knew that they didn't feel happy about my collection like I did. At the end of the day, all of this is beyond pointless, because if someone's getting mad at you for having plastic toys and plastic dolls around your house, and if people are mad about you and how you find your happiness on your own time, that is their problem, not yours, and you do not get to feel guilty about that. If someone's giving you a hard time, drop them, leave them, gone, goodbye, out of your life. That's how it should be dealt with. And no one ever should be able to, unless you are doing something that is harming you or someone else, no one should ever have influence and power over you to stop something that you enjoy. No one gets that right. No one gets their picks on how you get to be happy. Some final thoughts, I guess, that I want to give is that no one in this world should tell you how to live your life, because this world is ever changing. It's heartless, it's sad, it's cold, it's unfair. But the only thing that you can really do is protect your peace and do what makes you happy, because at the end of the day, doing something like collecting dolls is beyond harmless, maybe harmless to your bank account, but it's really not anything that should be taken as offensive to somebody. If someone has a problem with it, actually that's not your problem, that's their problem, and they don't need to be in your life, because they're not important to you and they're not important to your happiness. No one should try to take away your happiness, because that's what's most important. And honestly, just finding confidence within your collection is genuinely going to take time. Like, it's not going to happen on day one. Maybe it will, maybe you're not getting, maybe you just like are confident. But if you're able to do something that isn't, like, I guess, part of the norm, I applaud you so much, because I was not able to do that. But the final point and the most important point is, do what makes you happy, do what makes you feel safe. Your approval is the most important approval that'll ever happen. And don't let people tear you down, because at the end of the day, they're probably sad and jealous and bitter of something else that's happening in their own life, and they're probably just taking it out on you because you found happiness and you feel better about yourself and you do something that's different. You know, people will always hate someone that does something different, and that's their own fault and that's their own issue. Yeah. I love you guys all so very much. Thank you guys so much for chatting with me today. It was so much fun. And I'm happy that I was able to kind of get some of this off my chest. And I hope I was able to help some of you guys as well. That's, again, one of my main things about this channel is I really want to help other doll collectors as well. Like, they helped me, because without the doll YouTube and the doll social media, I would not be where I am today, just in terms of confidence and collection and feeling like I fit in somewhere. So I just am eternally grateful for all of the love and support and the whole community in itself. It's so special to be able to go to a place online and escape and still feel like you're valued. I don't know if that makes sense, but I've been getting so many messages recently about helping people with their confidence and helping people with their collection. And I'm, again, eternally grateful for that, because I just want to repay what other people have done for me. So yeah, with that, thank you guys so much for the support and the love and chatting with me again today. It was so fun to ramble and to have my brain blow out, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I love you guys so very much. Have a great night. Stay warm and stay fierce. Love you. Bye. Mwah, mwah, mwah.